All right, so
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestler Review. I am noted, excellent comedian and friend to all people, John Hastings, and I'm joined by a man who said maybe we should hear Putin out, Dylan God.
I only wanted to hear him about hear me out. Having Ukraine be his. It is. It's. I don't think
It
it's
was weird.
Russia. I think it's his.
Yeah, it's weird. Dylan is very left wing, but also very into strongman dictators.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he,
I don't want to fucking. I'm talking about world's strongest man here. I'm talking about Mark Henry, not fucking some loser ass.
oh yeah.
Bitch taters.
Dylan believes that if you win the world's strongest man competition, you should be allowed to pick what country you rule.
I think Mark Henry is one of the nicer wrestlers, which is very funny. I think
Here's why Mark Henry's a nice wrestler is that he knows he's confident. Hey Mark,
he's also like
you,
come out. Yeah.
you do that fake thing, and he's like, I got like $80 million for lifting stuff. I'm the smart one, and they're like, that's a good point, Mark. That's a real good point.
Yeah, it's also like the thing. It's also the thing where you're happy that you have more than one thing you're good at, where it's just not one thing.
Yeah,
There's nothing
100%.
weirder than someone who's like good at like that one thing, and it's like if that one thing isn't working out, they're fucked.
Well, I think about this a lot with comedians coming out of COVID because COVID was basically a like, hey, all of you need to get a podcast or just be fine with working on developing one social media as a way to get fans. You just got to do like one other thing and you'll kind of be able to weather the storm a little bit, like mentally health wise. And I know a bunch of comedians that just didn't do anything for 2 years and they are so fucking weird now because they're like, yeah, no, I don't have an Instagram. And people are like, well, then I don't consider you a comedian.
Yeah, that is the weird thing where it's like, you gotta post pics at the gigs. I'm killing it. I fucking killed at this gig. That's what I do. I only say I killed. I actually don't do any gigs. I just Google full room and then I say killed it.
Yeah, not me. What I do is I stage heckler videos, which I found out recently someone does do, which I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever
That's
heard.
dope. I mean, it
does
makes
a-
sense.
Does a full set. He does a full set, and then at the end gets his opener or someone to yell, and he does it. Does the
That's
heckler
fucking
thing?
crazy.
Isn't that crazy? And that man,
I mean, mm-hmm.
Adam Copeland. That's right. It's Edge. Edge does that.
All right, let's talk about known husband thief Beth Pheonix.
Yeah, known, actually excellent influence on a guy who would have definitely gone old school Mississauga weird, Adam Copeland. That's right, everyone. We're talking about the Glamazon herself. Her and Gail Kim sit atop the pile of these people actually care. Welcome to the WWE in the 2000s. We think you're toilets. Women are toilets, Vince would say.
Mm-hmm.
Women are toilets. Piss.
Well,
I want to piss in you.
It's interesting for Beth Phoenix's whole career because it's very obvious that like she's absolutely everything they would want from a male wrestler and a female wrestler at the same time. It's just they did not have a women's division, so it was just kind of a challenge. It's like, okay, you're the big monster. You're gonna beat up Kelly, I guess.
Yeah. So we need to get you over with some heat. So Beth, what you're gonna do is go in the ring, take off your top, and imply you're gonna show everyone your nipples. I thought you wanted me to get over as a wrestler. Yeah, woman's wrestler. This is how we get women over as wrestlers. We get them to be naked in the ring only. Like, do I wrestle at all? Yeah, you wrestle with your own thoughts that you're being only used as a vehicle for sexualization and do not possess any individuality or soul. You could wrestle with that, but don't wrestle with anyone else. This is the WWE. Yeah. Only boys can fake fight. Girls, get out of here. Hey, girls, get out of here.
Exactly. Show your jugs, leave in silence. That's what their character was originally.
When China almost won the WWF championship, that's because Vince McMahon had a bad piece of sausage and he needed to throw up to get it out of his body, and he didn't want to go take activated charcoal. So they're just like, put a woman in the ring wrestling a man.
Almost beat Chris Jericho, she did.
And then she did beat Jeff Jarrett in the greatest thing ever. I love that story so much, which is like
the Good Housekeeping match.
The Good Housekeeping match, which is just two people hitting each other with a broom. Yeah.
That's good. Beth Pheonix, did you know this? She actually liked wrestling.
I did know this. This was amazing. She's one of the more and more we do this show, the more and more I discovered that wrestlers don't love wrestling. They're just like, well, I wanted to be an archery expert, but that's not a job, so I found the next best thing. Pro wrestler.
Here's a fun fact. So in 1995, she won a coloring contest and got
Shut
a
up.
chance to win to watch WWE Raw live. That sounds great, right, John?
That does sound great. I like that very much.
She
Well,
was
tell me more.
15.
Oh no,
She
who was
won
on commentary?
She was she won the coloring contest at 15.
What?
If I entered a coloring contest at 15, I'd probably kick the fucking shit out of some people too.
Yeah, that. I mean, wait, what? I knew she won a contest at 15.
Just
I
like
didn't
little
realize it was
kids.
coloring.
Like what a fucking ruthless
That's so
loophole
much
that you're
better.
gonna
I
fucking
gotta tell you,
smash
that's
these kids
so
at
much
coloring.
fucking better. That she was just like, "I'll tell you how you fucking do this," and just went for it.
You,
yeah.
I won tickets to see Raw. Oh, and like a raffle? No, actually, I won a trivia contest against children.
Yeah.
I knew what a zebra was, and I know how to say
And
it perfectly.
so, how did you get this free pizza? Oh, I won a foot race against a bunch of 8-year-olds.
I pushed them all down, which was not against the rules, which I specified to the referee beforehand, and then I won easily.
Do you know how fucking easy it was to trick Caleb into thinking that his parents were getting divorced, so he started to cry and didn't focus on the race? It was easy.
Here's the crazy thing about Beth Pheonix is she's like a lot of people as well do this. Is she got into amateur wrestling specifically just to apply that to professional wrestling?
Which is so weird. It's like learning how to be a classical sculptor
foresight,
to
man.
get into graphic design.
But it's crazy. It's like,
but it works because it's also that thing of you get the basis moves, and it's also that thing of like your body and muscle memory is trained towards the weird wrestling maneuvers and that sort of thing of like, it's also that thing of like, be aware of the other person's body at all times, all that sort of stuff. It does teach you good grounding sort of things for Beth Phoenix's eventual career of wearing something that showed off her fat milk bags, as Vince McMahon would describe her. Like, it's basically Beth Phoenix feels like, it's like, I'm really prepared to be a good, solid in-ring tactician. And they were like, by in-ring tactician, do you mean out-of-ring woman wearing a dress for a guy who both can't wrestle or can't talk? No. Oh, that's what I heard.
Yeah, exactly. It's honestly, it's like, but the weird thing about that amateur wrestling thing, it shows such foresight on her behalf to just like do that as a first step, because it is a great first step. And especially, it should be said, especially at that time, it's much better first step than it is now. The first step you have now is just like have a fucking fire Instagram account, and then you get
the first step now is either be related to a wrestler, be Bill Goldberg, or just have a good Instagram.
Oh yeah. Do you think you could be Bill Goldberg? Also, Goldberg's kid's looking fucking swole as
Oh my
shit
god, I
for
guarantee
him.
Vince
Not
McMahon is
fat
already like,
anymore,
can I eat him? Can I eat him?
Can I call you Shane?
Do you think that they are going to try and do a Brody Lee's kid versus a Bill Goldberg's kid match in the eventual
so.
AEW WWE merger? I will.
Yeah, I think that they're going to. I just hope that Brody Lee's kid decides to not be a wrestler. That's what I hope.
I feel the
I
exact
hope that
same
a lot
way
for him.
Yeah,
I hope
just
that he
just
finds
don't do this.
Good to do.
I don't even hope that. I just hope he finds something else to do.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah. Anyway, enough sad talk. Let's talk about something fun. Beth Phoenix trained at the dungeon.
She trained at the. Yeah, that's right, Beth. No,
I'm kidding. She wanted to train at the dungeon, but she couldn't. It was too far away. She would. She would go to Pittsburgh and work for Tarantula.
Oh, I mean, this is so good because, by the way, she chose Tarantula because he, quote unquote, I'll abuse you like stew, but you'll learn nothing. Oh, that sounds okay. She then attended Ron Hutchinson School in Toronto and had her first professional match against someone named Alexis Laree. She worked for various
Alexis
promotions.
Laree is Mickey James.
Is she really?
Yep. That was
God.
Mickey James' name on the indies. Ron Hutchinson also, he got a good grounding. If you go to Ron Hutchinson School, here's what he does. He's like, first part is you got to put these fries under and then work for 8 more hours in my fish and chips place. No wrestling. That's pretty much
is that
you pay to work at his fish and chips place. That's what it sounds like.
Is that true? Do you know anyone who did you know anyone who went to that school? Because you remember in 2010 a bunch of comedians briefly did wrestling training.
Yeah, I think that was all through Super Kicked, which is a promotion.
In Toronto, yeah.
The 6 dot, but we can see. Canadian professional wrestler Ron Hutchinson. I'll tell you this. He wears a cape, and it looks like he's not wearing anything else. Good for him.
Oh, yeah.
He himself was
Fucking
trained by Sweet Daddy Siki, and his dope. His gym is Sully's gym, which is also a boxing gym. So good for him.
Is that the one that's on fucking God damn it, what's it called? Not the Danforth. Oh, the other one, Davenport. Is it on Davenport?
It is on Davenport, and the website is definitely an Angel Fire. And
it is.
The Angel Fire just has some pictures, like some very non-HD pictures of Christian Cage and Edge that are.
Yeah, because this is the guy. This is the guy that they couldn't talk about how good Edge and Christian were around him because they were like, "This guy's gonna charge us more money, so just downplay how much you like them." And he was like, "And wasn't Edge's name also like Baron von Hotcock or something like that?" Like
Edge's name was Sexton Hardcastle.
That's right. Yeah, big dick, hard dick.
Yeah, hard, meaty, throbbing cock. Your world.
Do you ever think about the fact that you and Edge come from the same college? You and Edge both went to Humber College.
We did.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. I mean, I'm a Christian guy, so I don't fucking give a dick's ass about Edge.
I am also a Christian guy. We're all Christian guys.
Thank you. I'm a Christian guy, literally and figuratively.
As am I.
I'm a proud man.
I'm non-practicing.
Proud Christian. Oh, you're not practicing?
I'm not proud. All. Not even all.
I'm Christian, but just in the way that I'm like, I just like,
Oh,
I wouldn't say I agree with all their stuff.
Dylan.
I would just say that I agree with the parts where they're like small-minded about certain things, but like I don't believe in God.
Yeah, no, I got that. I could tell. Also, I just want to let you know, Christian Cage, he didn't go to Humber, but he did go to your mom's house and fucked her.
No, that was Edge, you mean?
No, it's Christian. Christian fucked your mom.
Christian fucked my mom, but didn't go.
It's on his Wikipedia page.
So why is that? Why would I even care then?
Well, it's because it's also on your Wikipedia page.
My Wikipedia page is Christian fucked my mom, and that's it?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, yours says your mom's a slut.
No, it doesn't. That's mean. We both know I'm not allowed a Wikipedia page.
I edited it. 2002, I'll tell you this. Tracking a female wrestler's career who's not in the WWE for the first 4 years is insane because it's just like she wrestled under a bridge while men yelled at her. The end.
Oh, there was that 6-month period she was in Japan and they just kept her in a box and kicked the box. And then we'll never forget when she auditioned for Tough Enough 3 and Al Snow saw her match, was so angry that a woman was just speaking without being told to she could by a man. He attempted suicide and instead bought Ohio Valley Wrestling because Al Snow's a fucking loser.
But she wrestled in Glory, not the kickboxing promotion. She successfully auditioned for Tough Enough 3, but then she had heart problems. Joined Far North Wrestling, joined World Extreme Wrestling,
really?
And wrestled in Shimmer before moving on to Ohio Valley Wrestling in 2000, and you better believe 4, baby.
So she is there at the very, I believe this is the beginning of the non-Jim Cornette OVW. I never can remember when Jim Cornette leaves OVW.
Yeah, you better get that done before we get our taxes done. Finding out when Jim Cornette left OVW.
It's 2007. Thank God. So she was there for Jim Cornette OVW.
Like, here's the thing. You look like my wife. Can you?
Here's the weird thing: is I
fuck
think
somebody else and I'll pretend you're my wife.
I think Jim Cornette would probably be. He'd be like, I don't want any of these sluts fucking my wife. Like I think he was probably pretty respectful to Beth Pheonix because wasn't she? She was used very well in OVW, was she not? Like in it, the women in OVW were just like, and her and Gail Kim and Molly Holly had a bunch of matches that were good and fine.
Molly Holly would be on the main roster.
She would be on the main roster.
But like Beth Pheonix is pretty straight ahead. Like you see Beth Pheonix and it's very clear what's going to happen. Like she's bigger than everybody, so you have a monster heel or babyface if you want. Like it's
and then
it's pretty much handed out like what you should do with Beth Pheonix, and then the fact that like WWE had to do the thing where it's like she's the Glamazon. Here's what I mean. Yeah, she's jacked, but you fucking look at her, bro.
Yeah, like come on. Yeah, she's a fucking hill of a person, but you'd fuck that hill. Am I right?
I don't know if we've done a Michelle McCool episode, but I think the best intro of any female character ever is Michelle McCool just rollerblading and like she likes sports. It was like, what? How does that make her good at fighting?
Fuck
She
you. I
does.
don't fucking know.
I don't know. Look at
Suck my
her
dick.
fucking asshole, buddy. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
you funny.
Fuck
I didn't
you.
realize I was talking to a bunch of fucking gay guys. I was talking fucking straight
yeah,
men.
yeah. They
This is
wanted
geared
to
towards
the
straight men.
original. Yeah, the original idea Kevin Dunn pitched for Michelle McCool's character was just like a guy that looks like worse than me eating a bunch of like really messy nachos.
Yeah.
And then there's not much nachos, like the little nachos end of the bag, but he has like a
Yep.
full thing of dip of the nacho cheese and he pours it in and mixes around with his hand. He's like, "Oh, you better get ready to touch your little fucking cocks." And then it goes, next on Raw, Michelle McCool. That was the original draft.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because they were going to do that, but that got canned. Also because the original plan for how they debuted Beth Pheonix, which was she just comes out and pisses in a bucket, and then Kevin Dunn drinks that bucket, and it all takes place in his house. That was weird. Like he wanted that. That was he kept being like, "What if she pisses in a bucket and there's no cameras and it just happens at my house when my wife and family are away?" And they were like,
How
"I
many?
mean, no."
How many times do you think it was like just someone stood up and is like, "Guys, I got some great merch for Trish Stratus, her bike seat," and then they just sit down.
Every day. I guarantee every day they're just like, "All right, let's have a merch meeting." And
Say
someone just
she
stands
sat
up
on
and
it.
is just like, "I get given Charlotte Flair's underpants." That's a good idea. Kevin, that's a good idea. We're not going to do it, but you're on the right track.
So Beth Phoenix comes in as Trish Stratus's ally. Obviously,
Yes, this is, by the way, how they
saving it from her
debuted
old
how they
friend Mickie
debuted
James.
female wrestlers in the 2000s was they just were friends with Trish Stratus, turned on Trish Stratus, and away you go.
That's pretty much it, yes. And
Yeah,
it's
so
also
'cause
like there's very much the these guys can wrestle division and the these guys cannot division. And at this point, from a tertiary look, it's like, oh, there's Trish Stratus, Mickie James, and then we need another girl to like cycle out Mickie James.
Yeah, when one
or
of the other
Trish
two is
Stratus.
busy, we need one of them to face Trish Stratus. Yeah. And it's basically that it was the time when Mickie James is Trish Stratus's crazy fan.
Mhm.
And Mickie James keeps attacking Beth Phoenix, being like she's ruining everything. And why did she show up in the first place? Beth Phoenix was formally introduced by Stratus and then attacked by Mickie James.
Okay, so
and
here's
then-
when they debut. Okay, to be fair, sorry to cut you off, but to be fair, here's the women's roster because it was actually
Go ahead.
Okay, wrestlers. So here's
Did
the
it.
entire women's roster when Beth Phoenix debuted.
All right.
So Ashley Massaro, not okay. Matt, that you're 0-1. Beth Phoenix, wrestler. Candice Michelle, okay, no. Jillian Hall, also no. Also, we should do a Jillian Hall episode because she said some stuff that's very illuminating. Kelly
What did-
Kelly, no. Crystal, no. Layla, no. Lillian Garcia, that's a ring announcer. They've counted her.
Wait,
ring
what?
announcer.
Wait, what the fuck are you? She was on the women's roster?
Well, they just said she was.
You're fucked. They were just like, I don't know.
No, this is according to like just a website that summarizes these things. This is not like anyway. On this website, they also list Linda McMahon. We're reaching.
Yeah, that's.
reaching
I
for
mean, I
people
think
now.
that's not as reaching as fucking
Lillian Garcia.
Lillian Garcia.
Lita is listed, so she's a wrestler. Melina can wrestle. So can Mickie James, obviously. Then you get Trish Stratus, obviously, Victoria, but also Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah are listed, which is good. And this was the year Michelle McCool debuted as I Like Sports.
Well, hey, that's fucking. Let me say this about that women's division. Lillian Garcia being on there is still blows my mind.
Linda McMahon isn't that as bad as Lillian Garcia? An
Li-
old
li-
woman who just goes like, "I'm heel Linda," which means in this story I'm mean, but I'd like to make everybody at home. This is a play my husband wrote, and I don't like what he wrote for me. Okay, can you stop, Linda? I
well, here's the
cannot.
thing. I've heard, like, how do I say this? Linda McMahon, I can name storylines she was involved in. Lillian Garcia, besides the time The Rock asked her if she liked strudel, and the fact that her podcast was one of the
Viscera too.
Oh yeah,
Viscera wanted to
I don't
fuck
remember
her.
that. I've been told about it. I don't remember it. And also the fact
Viscera
that her
wanted to fuck
podcast is
her.
insane. Lillian Garcia's podcast is wild. She cries every episode, sometimes during the intro,
It's
sometimes
good
during
that
the
Lillian
interview,
Garcia.
sometimes both.
Still, one of the best things I ever heard was a dude in my early 20s was a intern for WWE, and they just wanted him to call Spanish radio stations and get them to play Lillian Garcia's album, and he did not speak Spanish. So he was just like, "Can you play Lillian Garcia's album?" And they'd be like,
Okay.
No, Pablo, no sé, no anglais." Just
No.
like it was like it
Nope.
was
Let's
that
not do that
for
accent. That
fucking.
accent. Oh boy.
Why
Oh
not?
boy.
Why not? You
Because
said
of
gay.
no. Yeah, because I was gonna spell a word.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna spell
You're
Kramer.
small-minded. That's what you're gonna say. I'm big.
That doesn't start. You are not big-minded. I have read your journal.
My journal. Yeah, I have a public journal. It's
Yeah.
still on Angel Fire,
It's
much like
and it's also on
Self-Care.
OnlyFans. Dylan has an OnlyFans. He thought it was you're bearing your soul, not your treasure.
So Trish Stratus' ally, and this is another bad thing. So obviously Beth Phoenix has already had the heart issue that kept her out of Tough Enough, but she Victoria slapped
can
her.
we also? Oh yeah, she does. Can we? Yeah, fucking like Beth Phoenix is Chris Rock and fucking Victoria is fucking Will Smith.
There you go. I don't think that was real. Those are the best people who are like, that's fake. You're like everything's fake. Anyway.
Oh, those
Beth
are the best.
Phoenix-
No, Eric Bischoff sucks so hard. There's a few people also.
I don't want to talk about it because it's like that. He's just trying to be a chill.
I only know about it because of your rage about it. And there's nothing but Dylan Gott is someone that I have made angry many times, but Dylan has stages of white man anger, which is like the louder he gets, and then he crosses over to just pure silence. And then that's when he's literally just thinking about breaking your bones to make his bread. Like it's so fucking dad. Like he's just
Yeah.
I
I sound like a car and then I nut. Anyway, Big Nut got Beth Phoenix had her fucking mouth open. Victoria slapped that shit. She
did.
She had a what's it called? What's the exact injury? Fractured mandible.
Oh fuck! I hate
Part
jaw
of her face
injuries.
is permanently numb. She spent a year having surgeries and recovering, getting a titanium plate and 9 screws in her jaw. She was only out of action for 2 months.
Wrestling is a
Came back to
nightmare.
Ohio Valley.
Yeah, only 2 people called her in the hospital.
Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon and Howard Finkel. Howard Finkel was asking, "Is your mattress available? Why?" Kevin Dunn wants to smell it.
Have you died yet? No. I'm Howard Finkel. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's my Finkel. Anyway.
How did
She wrestled a
Howard
ton of matches.
Finkel? And now, here's something I think about every day. Howard Finkel was just like Vince McMahon hired someone he could bully. He's like, Howard, you're getting 6 figures a year to look at my shit.
Dude, that's the other thing about Howard Finkel was that apparently he would get into the office like really early. Like it was like Vince and then him, and there was always bang bang.
No, it was Howard Finkel then Vince is how it always
That's
was.
crazy.
And no one could figure out when he would get there, as opposed to because they'd be like they'd get back from Raw at like 2 a.m. or whatever, and then Howard Finkel would be there at 5 a.m. being like, "Here was all the mentions of us in other media."
So now I'm looking at the December 31st, 2007 women's roster, and there's somehow even less people than ever because 2007 December 31st, you lose Trish Stratus and Lita. Literally, the women's roster,
See ya.
as far as wrestlers go, are Mickie James, Beth Phoenix, Melina, and Victoria. That's it.
That's pretty sick.
Everyone else is from the Diva Search.
Yeah, makes
That's fucking. That's
Oh,
why
'cause-
no one knows who Beth Phoenix is because it was like
It's
if
the
LeBron
Diva Search.
James got drafted during like the 1930s. It's like we just
Yeah,
don't
it
have
would
a
be like
league
if
for
LeBron James. It would be like if LeBron James inexplicably went to the USFL. It's like what?
Oh, he would have been good there too, buddy. He was a first thing he was tight end prospect. Anyway, 2007. Beth
no, he
Phoenix
would not have
returns as a villain. Go for it.
She certainly does. I was going to make a comment about Herschel Walker, but it's not necessary for our Beth Phoenix episode. Yes, she does. She returns as the fucking Glamazon from OVW. Her jaw is fucking fixed. Now her
jaw
and
is fucking dope.
Melina are going to have a fucking oh no, she replaces Melina as Jillian Hall's partner, and they lose a match between Candice Michelle and Mickie James. That's how you debut a heel strong. I'm back. I'm the Glamazon. I'm going to lose to two people that are smaller than me. How the fuck are they this bad at this? How the fuck? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Sometimes adulthood is just going, I thought everyone would be smarter. And this is one of those situations where it's like, you know how to do this properly, WWE, and yet you're like, well, we'll do the opposite.
And it's like, if you watch Beth Phoenix against Melina, not so much Melina, but like she beats Candice Michelle for the women's title, and it's like, dude, watching her against Candice Michelle is like literally like you see Beth Phoenix and you see an athlete, and then you see Candice Michelle and you're like, okay, this is an athlete versus just someone in HR. Like there's just no the projection. Beth Phoenix is just head and shoulders above athletically all these women. Like it's like she's just literally legit came 10 years too early.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, because she's what, 42 now, so she could she
could still be wrestling, but she's had a lot of injuries and is also probably exhausted from this time period, which was probably so fucking mind-numbing, and she has a shitload of money. Like, that's the other thing is, like, she clearly was someone who was going to bed after these shows, so she was saving her 6-figure salary, and she can just fucking hang out, have a fucking great time.
Yeah, she takes some time off TV, comes back as Glamorella, because they're like, it's new, but I don't know, I just woke up.
Oh, God, yeah. Even reading
Santino
that, you're
Marella.
Of course.
Because remember, this was Santina Marella.
Yeah, I remember. This is this is when literally the face of the women's division was a man. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
I'm a fucking dude.
Yeah. Oh my God. I still think Vince McMahon thinks that's the funniest joke ever.
They had a pretty dope roster in 2008.
Did they?
Comparatively to 2007. Okay, so here's what we got. Oh, dope.
Bring it on.
Obviously, Beth Phoenix.
Who?
They list Linda McMahon again.
Of course.
Linda's back.
Linda's back in there.
For this bullshit.
Why would you? Yeah, Linda's
she's
fucking
ready
sorting
to
it out.
Fucking fingers. She's ready.
You're going to the. Yeah, she's gonna bite your clit, not off, but it will be bloody.
Oh, she's fucking. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mickie James. Of course. Natalia is at it.
No.
We got fucking Victoria. We got Stephanie McMahon, baby. The industry.
No.
And then of course we have Katie Lee Burchill, who, let's not forget, Katie Lee Burchill. What was their character? They're pirates. They're siblings.
They're fucking.
Yeah. Beaver cleavage plus a pirate theme, which means jacking off plus right now.
Hey, what's up? My name is Vince McMahon, and I want my kids to fuck. I don't want to fuck my kids, but I want them to fuck.
By Pornhub, do you think that Vince McMahon was? He steps over.
I mean, oh my God.
He goes on Pornhub and he's like, I told you. We just had to say Stephanie was my stepdaughter.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots.
Trusts my plans.
He stands up, points at stepdaughter, and how many hits it. He's like,
"Yeah,
no one tell
that could have been us.
Wrong. No one told me I'm wrong." What about
hello, Paul?
Real 100% daughter.
Paul, have you seen my memo? Vince, is that the memo titled
That's good.
Pornhub proves me right?
Hello.
Signed Vince McMahon.
That's,
that's right, Paul. I'm gonna fuck my daughter, who's your stepsister. Again, it's me, Triple H, Paul, and I just want to let you know I don't think you understand what a sibling is, and I'm in the colic, and that's in your blood. What also was in my blood is HPV. I shared too many beds with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and he had a form of HPV that actually could walk from one body to the other.
This is the crazy thing about Beth Phoenix is that she tears her ACL in 2011.
Yo, what's that mean, bro?
It just must be insane to get all these injuries doing something that sucked. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to be like, I got a fucking torn ACL, but that was a 35-minute match with fucking Becky Lynch. We tore the fucking house down. Stone Cold Steve Austin closed out WrestleMania, but god damn it, we're the best match. And then, I tore my ACL. How'd you do it? Rosa Mendez doesn't understand how to set up a chair.
Yeah,
like it must be fucking horrifying.
Yeah, how did you get your debilitating jaw injury? Well, we're supposed to know how to fake hit each other, and instead some fucking splooge head just slapped me in the jaw.
Yeah, man. And this is, of course, the Santina stuff is absolutely not done. She gets eliminated by Santina at the Miss WrestleMania 25.
Of course she does. The classic. Let's
And
piss on the grave of all women. Yes, of course she does.
Pretty much.
She forms the Divas of Doom with Natalya. It is crazy how long Natalya has been there, and calls everyone a bunch of perky bimbos, which is fantastic. Phoenix challenged Kelly for the Divas Championship. The Divas of Doom feuded with Kelly and Eve Torres, and eventually they retire, and Natalya goes on to just sort of hang out and be called old and fat for the rest of her career by everyone in the WWE office, and Beth Phoenix has a nice life. Every time Natalya is brought up, all I think about is the fact they're like, God, this old fat bitch. And that she's like, I'm 32 and I weigh 120 pounds. When Vince McMahon.
Well, I mean, I guess the steroids in male wrestling obviously is kind of indicative of the same thing. But look at the amount of female wrestlers who are in WWE past 5 years that get plastic surgery, because Natalya's had a lot of, like, you can look at her headshot from 2008 and it's like she's had so much, like, you don't really realize how much fucking work she's had done. Like, I look at her face and I'm like, I know that she's had plastic surgery. It's visible, but like when you look at her headshot from 2008, it's like a different fucking person. It's fucking crazy.
I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find it right now.
Oh, you can find it out. And
holy shit!
By the time she leaves,
wow, Dylan's right, which is very frustrating.
Here is the roster by the time Beth Phoenix leaves. You pretty much
this
have,
really depresses me when you go through
really
this.
Wrestle. Of the women who can really wrestle, you have Natalya. You have, I guess, does Brie Bella count?
Yeah, the Bella twins count, man.
The Bella twins count. Okay, and then you got Karma, who, if you don't remember,
oh yeah, Awesome Kong, very briefly
got pregnant and then left.
Oh yeah, she
got
did the
pregnant,
best Royal Rumble debut, and then they were like, "Wait, what? Get out!"
And then like all what they do when she got pregnant, John. They waited until she had the kid because they were so mad. They were like, as soon as that fucking kid comes out, she's getting fucking fired. And they had AJ Lee, which AJ Lee was a great wrestler. But
I never liked AJ Lee. I always felt AJ Lee. I felt like AJ Lee looked like a twig. I hated her fucking skipping to the ring. I just didn't like it. I understand other people did. I hated it.
Hey man, AJ Lee basically gave the female wrestling pipe bomb where like it was like no one fucking cares, no one's fucking watching this. You guys won't let us do fucking anything. And then Stephanie McMahon got pissed basically, and then that's when Stephanie McMahon would come out every week and be like, "Women's evolution. I am for women. Women are great." But it was only because AJ Lee basically said this, and every shareholder was like, "Yeah, it's supposed to be a kid's product," except for like all the women on television are like, "Here is something that lies down so a man can clean its boots."
Yeah, and now girls at home, the thing you need to remember is that dreams are only for men. Only men.
Dreams are for men. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, dreams are for men. Go fuck yourself.
So anyway, Phoenix obviously is the champion again because there's 3 people that could fucking wrestle in the company. And she leaves WWE in 2012, takes a siesta, comes back in 2017 as part of the Hall of Fame class.
Yeah.
At the age of 37, she's in the Hall of Fame. Which is hilarious because
welcome to wrestling. Life is hell.
Like, how old is like AJ Styles when he debuts? 40?
49.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's like
Yeah, but again,
AJ Styles
there
is
is something
legally.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. There is something about believing that the earth is flat that just makes you look gorgeous.
Oh yeah, he's you know what he is. He's legit Billy Ray Cyrus, but like fucking sick.
Yeah, he's Billy Ray Cyrus plus plus kicks plus just being a fucking wild man.
It is fucked up how athletic he still is. So AJ Styles when he debuted was it was 2016. That's 1977. Yes, AJ Styles was 38.
That's pretty sick.
Debuted. So he's a year older than Beth Phoenix when she goes into the Hall of Fame.
No.
Let's
Fucking
go, bro.
no.
Of course, she comes back as a color commentator for a hot minute.
Oh yeah, this is also the thing. Like her end of her, like I don't remember any of this. I didn't remember being in the Hall of Fame. I didn't remember her becoming a commentator.
Well, we weren't paying attention. We're real men.
We were paying. I was paying attention at this time. Oh no, yeah, no, it's slightly yeah.
No, 2019 she faced Nia Jax.
Oh yeah,
she came back because Vince McMahon realized that like basically she retired for 6 years or 5 years, but it was just because like Vince McMahon didn't realize that like women still were people after 30, and then that became a thing. And he's like, "Oh my god!" It turns out she could still move and produce children.
I want you to know, I don't think he thought like I hear what you're saying. I don't believe he thought they were important after 30. Someone had to be like, "You need to be a part. You need to be okay with this," and he's like, "I do not want to be okay with this. I really don't."
But like. So obviously she comes back. She's facing Nia Jax for a hot minute. And the thing about that is they could have just put her back in the regular rotation if they wanted to. But like you said, she's probably too smart with her money.
Oh, yeah. No, she's definitely too smart for her money. And it's also the thing that she also has my husband has a TV career. Like Edge is weirdly one of those guys where he kind of stopped wrestling. And then he just weirdly, he was on TV just enough that he was definitely getting stacks of cash, but not enough that anyone remembers, so we could just segue into going back into wrestling.
B movies do pay better than like we make. If you think about it, Edge had a profile on television for 20 plus years, and we make a living with no presence on television. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
absolutely,
smart,
and it's also that thing of he also came around in a time where they're like, we need muscly guys who know how to stage fight. And for TV, like for like that show Haven, they would be like, wait, we don't need to train you how to do that. You'll just instinctively know how to fucking fall because you've been a pro wrestler.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Like, yeah, okay, please come along. Like that's why, like Roddy Piper, part of the reason why he was picked for They Live was it was a small budget and They Live had an 11-minute fight scene. And it had to be really up close. And it was basically that thing of like, we need at least one of the people in this to be a stuntman. Okay. Like Roddy Piper, it's one of those things where wrestler, it's like that weird thing of like Dylan and I could be like stand-up comedy has given us some, like we could go into copywriting probably because we know how to pump out things that are clipped quickly and fast. You know what I'm saying? There's applicable skills to it. Being a pro wrestler, you're essentially just a really good stuntman. Like Roddy Piper just knew how to get hit by a car in the backlot brawl at WrestleMania. They didn't rehearse that. He just said to him, "Hit me with the car," and Roddy Piper's
wrestlers
like,
are all fucked too, like especially Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper's also a fucking lunatic. Like, also don't just attempt to get hit by a car on TV.
You know how to get hit by a car? Sure.
Yeah. Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Let's roll the dice here, boys. You go under it, right? Haha. Just joking around. I'll jump on top of it and beat the driver up.
Here's what Beth Phoenix's career was basically. I want to be a wrestler. She's a wrestler for just long enough to where she's like, the way I'm being treated as a wrestler, I hate. Goodbye. And then she like builds up some time to be like, I miss wrestling. And then I come back and it's longer every time. I think this is not the last Beth Phoenix run. I think she's she's back again with Edge, right? Am I crazy that they've done like a mixed tag?
No, not now. No. Edge is doing like a cult leader gimmick now. But Bianca Belair in Beth Phoenix's last match, Beth Phoenix got injured again in the match, fucked up her head and was bleeding. So it's like kind of every time that she gets injured, she's like, "Oh yeah, this part," and then just stops wrestling.
Yeah, I think that's partly it. So she's like, why am I doing this again? Why are they doing an Edge cult leader
Well, she
gimmick?
really
I
likes
fucking don't care.
wrestling. Why are they doing an Edge cult leader gimmick? I don't know. Why not? I don't know. It's all fucking whatever. Like, I don't know.
I hate modern wrestling because what it is like, do you remember this idea from 7 years ago that you really liked? Bray Wyatt. It was great. We're doing it again, but we're doing it with fucking Malachi Black. But why? Because fuck you. I don't know. You're bad.
Malachi Black and the open relationship stable, they all just give up. Oh, guys, like, oh no, Malachi Black is beating down Lee Johnson. He's gonna make Brock Anderson fuck his wife, and then Lee Johnson after that. Malachi Black is the devil. A devil who likes to get. All right. Here's the thing: when you finish, you have to nut on me. He's evil.
Is that
I'm fine with nutting on you if you I can have sex with your wife. You have to. Why didn't you just ask me to do that to begin with? I don't know. I like the part when we fight. All right. Evil. Black.
I said this on stage last night. I stand by it, which is all polyamorous people look like dogs that were turned into people by wizards.
All polyamorous people do give off a vibe that they think magic will work on you.
Yeah, they all. What did it? Well, yeah,
it's like I dated a polyamorous girl for like a hot second, and it was like, just she blinked. I'm gonna say 5 seconds after you wanted her to.
I know what you're talking about.
And for a long time, it was like, you're a replicant. I've seen Blade Runner.
Yeah. Well, what's weird is then Dylan then started asking her those questions. You're in a desert. You see a turtle.
Also, and the greatest thing that we've never listened to, all major streaming platforms as of November 12th, 2021 have this, and this is, of course, Beth Phoenix's country album called Stone, Rose, and Bone.
How
hard would it be to be Edge and support your wife through her country album?
I guarantee this is while he was making Vikings and was just very tired. And so he just came home one day and he was just like, hon, why is there a cowboy hat on the kitchen table? I'm doing that country album. We talked about it. And he was like,
eesh.
Oh,
well, her dad passed away, and she said it was a good way to get through these feelings, and that must be hard.
I wish I had.
I wish I had. If your friend passed away, and then you were like, guys, I've decided to get into poetry, and everyone was like, we got to just take this one because he's
imagine. Okay, yeah, a very good friend of mine died 2 months ago, and imagine right now being like, guys, you want to know how I've coped with the grief? Little thing called new metal. All right, Dylan, hit it.
Oh, buddy. I mean, unicycle would be good.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I think about that all the time. Like, what you could get away with just because no one could say shit to you for a couple months, where it's just like, you remember that 2-month phase where you just wore see-through pants? That was weird. He's like, oh, that was intentional. I wasn't grieving. I just wanted something to take. Seeing your face while you tried to not look at my balls pressed into my leg took me off of the death of my mom or whatever. You know.
Here's the thing that and you do get a weird cloud, which was for the 4 days I was super sad right after my friend's death. I just walked around San Francisco violently high, and I just gave off an aura. I don't know what it was of just like, you don't want to talk to me. Because San Francisco gets pretty spicy in certain areas, especially just because the homeless people have just been abandoned there by the society.
Sick.
And even then, like, I remember walking into the Tenderloin, which is just dangerous, and people were like, "Stay away from that guy." Like, I just remember a couple of people on a corner, and they had the body language of like, "What's wrong with that man?" and just crossed the street. And I was like, "That's a wise choice."
Well, that's the Weekend at Bernie's joke, right? Have you ever seen that one? That's one of the best jokes in a movie pre-Bernie dying. I don't know. A guy's late for work. He's walking, and a guy's like, "Give me all your money." And he's like, "Get the fuck out of my way. I'm late for work." And the guy's like, "Oh, sorry about that." And that's like totally a real thing.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I walked up. I was so pissed off that I got an Airbnb in Johannesburg, South Africa, and the guy just didn't mention there was no Wi-Fi. Like, the thing specifically said there was Wi-Fi. So, like, obviously I don't have a fucking phone plan in South Africa, so I had to figure out how to tell my family I was okay, and they all knew I was on a plane to South Africa. in Johannesburg. You know what I mean? One of
Yeah.
the highest crime rates in the fucking planet. So I had to walk up the side of a like basically a highway in South Africa in the middle of the day. Some guy told me the mall was that way. So I was like, well, I really hope the fucking mall's that way. Because I don't have any fucking money on me. So I just had to walk that way. And then I walked into a mall, which you don't do in South Africa. But I was so pissed. I wasn't even concentrating on the fact that I was walking by all these fucking townships. I was just like, I was walking through like crazy poverty, and I was so pissed to even rubberneck because I was like, this fucking motherfucker, I'm going to fucking beat the shit out of it. Like,
Oh
he
yeah.
was like, oh, sorry, I didn't. And I had to I had to basically plead with a guy. I was going to say scream. It was not. It was like plead with a guy to be like, I am from Canada. I'm here on business. I have to contact my family to tell them I'm okay. Can you just fake an address in your system so I can buy a data card? And he let me. But it's like totally a thing where you're fucking too pissed off to deal with anyone's bullshit.
I got news for you. It's also like, by the way, that story, welcome to my life of touring around the world where you just get to like a weird, I've thought about this so many times where it's the amount of times I've arrived in a country and it's just like, I don't know who I'm looking for or where I'm going.
Yeah, I did that in Belgium where I went in Belgium and I was like, oh, I don't speak French. Not even a bit.
Oh man, that was the best. That club
Then
was
I had
the
to be
best
like, English. Like I just like a fucking
I know what's so good about that. You get to that guy's mom's house, and there's just so much books about Hitler being cool on the
Is
shelves. Oh my god, yeah. I got in real trouble with that guy because on stage I was like, pretty fun gigs here in Belgium, you know? Yeah, we'd tell some fun jokes, then we head back to that fucking guy's mom's house, and there's just a bunch of gollywogs and books about Hitler being good. And he was like, hey, don't tell people about my mom's books. And I was like, hey, don't make me sleep at your mom's house. So I get to fucking talk about how your mom loves Nazism, bud.
Oh, also, all right. So I'm trying to look the guy up now. This is of course a classic wrestler review switch up. But Joey Knight is Beth Phoenix's first husband. She married him when she was 21.
Yeah, he kept being like, hey, you know, it would be cool if you went into porn and I just got to keep the money.
He obviously things are good, I guess, for him. I don't know, man. Wrestler Joey Knight. He was born in Fort Erie.
That's not good.
He looks like just a bag of milk left out in the sun.
Sounds
and then
good.
year later she marries Edge, which would be like, that's insane.
Yeah, no,
I mean, maybe it's not the right Joey Knight. I'm sure there's 600 Joey Knights.
Yeah, there's got to be more. Yeah, Joey Knight's definitely a.
That one's a well-trodden name. Let's see if we can go to the Wikipedia and click on his actual name. But I mean, that's pretty dope to be like, I was married to an indie guy for 9 years, and then the next year I fucking just married Edge.
Yeah, I like that
Joey
too.
Knight was one of her trainers. That's not good.
Oh no, Joey.
No, it was the Bag of Milk Knight. It was the Bag of Milk Man for sure. It was. Jesus
Was it
Christ.
really? Joey Bag of Milk?
Joey Bag of Milk, trained by the Hart family, somehow married Beth Pheonix because she seems like a woman who just doesn't know how to leave. Maybe he's a nice guy. Who knows? But she married her trainer, which is obviously very normal and.
Oh my god, this guy does look like a bag of milk. You've absolutely nailed it.
In the sun. And then she marries Edge, who is an Adonis and a millionaire, which is pretty good. That's pretty good to move up.
Do you ever think that Joey Knight calls them and is like, can I just look at your house? I don't need to come inside. I just want to come inside. I just want to look at it.
Google Maps doesn't have good pictures of it anymore. Can I just see inside?
Can I just come over and can you talk to me, please? Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. I just want to let you know about that.
What's the best thing about Beth Phoenix?
That she stopped being a wrestler and has a nice life, and that she's a nice person.
That's it. Probably worse.
She's definitely a reason why women's wrestling is taken seriously, and she's not given the credit for that, even though she deserves it. Go ahead, Dylan. You fuck.
She did. She was a women's wrestler in the true Dark Ages, and not in the Trish Stratus and Lita. Wrestling is still popular Dark Ages. She gets a lot. She doesn't get enough credit for carrying women's wrestling for like fucking 5 years.
100%.
For being the only one that could do. And it's like crazy that if she was a male wrestler, they would have brought her back, gave her flowers 10 times what they did. Like, she wrestled some matches, obviously, but like she could totally be like, there's a women's tag division. Why isn't Beth Phoenix just like in some?
Why isn't Beth Phoenix like basically being the Sting to someone's Darby Allin? By the way, like, you know what I mean? Like, Beth Phoenix, by the way, I just made that up in my head. That is exactly how you should be using Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix should be just walking to the ring way too confidently in a t-shirt and occasionally doing one move at pay-per-view where we're like, please don't.
Well, I mean, Beth Phoenix isn't a 60-year-old woman, though, to be fair. She's 37. No, she's 42
Yeah, but she's had so many more injuries.
Did Sting?
Like Sting weirdly hasn't had that many injuries.
Hasn't he? I don't know. We haven't done a Sting. We should do a Sting series. Sting series would be fun.
No, I'm not at a place where I'm ready to do series yet. Because we did a year on Vince McMahon and I'm still fucking bummed out by it.
Well, we have to go into the last part of Jeff Hardy's Imagination, but a Sting series would be fun. Here's the story of how a Christian man became more Christian.
I mean, I think it's the story of how a Christian man lost his faith and then immediately returned to it.
More Christian. A story about how
All right, here's the thing, okay? If you're a Patreon listener, let us know on Patreon if you want us to do a Sting series or you don't want us to do a Sting series.
I mean, the episode will be up by now, but we can do a live check of how our Patreon poll is going for for Andrew McCown's. Sorry if I fucked your name up. Andrew McCown's episode. And I think I know who's going to win because, 100%, the world is on fire. We have a poll up. Joey Ryan, Bray Wyatt, or Test. Yeah, we know who's winning. Joey Ryan's winning.
Test. Oh, no!
Test is closer than he could be. We can make fun of Test, you fucking loser bitch.
Yeah, you failed the test of not dying young, you little bitch.
This is a test. Don't do the pills. You can use that.
Yeah, this is a test. You have failed. I got to tell you, I always enjoyed Test. I really did. I thought he was great.
Dude, Test is before the Young Cucks. Suck on that.
That was really good.
Bitch Jackson and Bitch Jackson. Double bitch. Anyway, but Test was the leg slap guy. He fucking slapped that goddamn leg, baby. He
goddamn right he did.
That big boot right in the fucking head, baby. And they had a fucking sick finishing move Test and Albert did where it was like, it made so much sense. Albert grabs the back of the guy's head and throws it into Test's big boot. Simple,
it's great.
Effective, easy. You don't need all this fucking flippity-doos off the top with your fucking pants that make me think about if I love my wife.
Which I do not. Bitch and bitch, come over here and let me comb your hair. Let me comb your hair, oh Nick. Nick, I want to comb
I'm
your
gay.
hair.
Bye, honey. That's what I say.
Hello, young bucks. I want to call you the young looks because I want to look at you.
Whoa. Anyway, that's this fucking episode. Next week, we're going to do the Mac Daddy of Monster Mac. Fucking this next week is fucking Dwayne Gill, bitch.
I'm fucking excited.
Gilbert. Here's what we're
One is the only match that the fans remember.
Gilbert
and then Vince McMahon just used you to make fun of another guy.
Back when jobbers were jobbers, baby. Let's do it. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I've been Dylan Gott. That's John.
I'm Dwayne Gill.
That's John Gill. Thank you so much
Suck.
for listening. At Wrestler Review, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon episode up. There's a chat up right now for sure. We've recorded our episode on Joey Ryan, but is it up yet, or are we deciding really as a friends to if we want to publish what we said about him? Because
it's good. Well, yeah, he's a
John
monster.
Is on his side. John is on his side. John
No,
is
I'm
on his
not.
side.
I'm not on his side. But though Joey Ryan did nail my my theory, which is any person who's openly talked about having a foursome, not a threesome, but a foursome, they're getting me too'd. This is like a thing that I was like, that's
also like in hindsight, obvious. This is so obvious, but if your finishing move is forcing people to touch your dick,
touch it so I can show you how strong my dick is.
Here's what I do. I do a lot of intergender matches, and my main move is women have to touch my pecker. Like it's like fucking. Yeah, I don't know. There was no one really knew much about Harvey Weinstein. I mean, he did produce all those movies where he forced lesbian scenes into them. Like, there was no fucking. Anyway, thank you so much. We're going to fucking talk about Joey Weinstein on Patreon. Maybe that's next week
Yeah,
is
we're
Dwayne
gonna-
Gill. Thank you so
We're
much.
going to return to doing what we used to do on Patreon, which is talk about horrible people. And now we're still going to do that. Oh, fuck Joey Ryan and fuck you. Goodbye, Dylan. I fucking hate your guts.